Hello, I'm back. Apologies, this particular project has taken so long to finish. Basically, I had a couple of mishaps, but mainly the reason this took so long is because um, this gun is actually based on a toy gun that you can only get from China. It's basically, luckily, I mean, just coincidentally, it's pretty much a bang-on 1:2 scale replica Gatling gun, and it's all spring loaded inside, and you're supposed to fill this thing up with gel balls, and there's a little handle that clips on the side, and you turn it, and it fires them out. I haven't actually even bothered trying that feature of it. All I wanted it for was for this body here, this here. It's actually quite detailed. I was quite impressed with how that actually looked. But yeah, you have to order them from China. I actually ordered 3 of these things. The first one was from Wish. That never turned up, so I got a refund for that. So after the first one didn't turn up, I basically went a bit crazy and ordered 2 at the same time to sort of hedge my bets. The first one was from eBay. The second one was from AliExpress. The eBay one, which is the one I ended up using, was this one. That came a few weeks ago. And then this one turned up yesterday. Actually, this spare one. If anybody wants to give this a go, I'll probably be selling this one. So you may feel that you want to give it a crack as well, or even just modify it and create a static model. You know, not bother with all the electrics that I've done with this one. Anyway, moving on to the actual finished one. So this is it. So it's an attempt at making a replica of the minigun from Terminator 2. Obviously fully moving. I'll show you some videos at the end and a quick video of me holding it to show you the scale. But yeah, basically what I did is cut you can remove it. Just remove this plastic barrel off here. It's not the greatest looking thing. Looks a bit naff. So I mean, that's it compared to the one I made. Yeah, remove this plastic barrel off here, and then made my own. This is basically made from scratch. To do that, I used these here, and the reason I've got so many leftovers is because I made a complete one of these barrels up, spun it around in the motor, but I actually at that point I hadn't written a program to control it with PWM, control the speed. So it was actually just basically spinning as fast as there's quite a big motor inside there, and it was spinning as fast as the battery could power it, which was quite fast. And I had everything assembled, and all of a sudden it just exploded. I guess the centrifugal force or whatever, it just ripped it apart, and it went flying everywhere. I was actually quite lucky it didn't hit me, because I think one of these aluminium bars probably would have done me some damage if it would have caught me in the face or the eye or something. But anyway, this is what the barrel was made up of. So there's a 7mm brass one going down the center, and then I had these plastic things made. Basically, there's a guy on eBay who does custom plastic laser cutting. So I just worked out the dimensions of what I needed, thickness, where the holes needed to be, made a few little sketches and sent them him, and he made them up for me. So obviously you've got this one here, 2 of these ones, and then 3 of the thinner ones on the end. They're just 7mm holes all the way through, 6 of them and 1 in the middle. So to make it a bit more realistic, the first part of the barrel actually uses 10mm diameter aluminium, these things here, because I noticed in the picture the first part of the barrel actually starts off with a thicker, I don't know, sub barrels, I guess you call them, I don't know. But anyway, there's 6 of those at the start, 6 bigger ones, and then the ones near the front are 7mm thinner ones. These are actually quite light. They're made of aluminium. The brass one is a bit heavier. I think it would have been a bit too heavy if I made everything out of brass. So yeah, that's what the barrel's made out of. So that was fairly straightforward. A bit of cutting involved, gluing. I actually, if you watch one of my other videos on YouTube, you'll see that I actually was having lights lighting up in the holes as it went round. That looked pretty cool. But first, that was the one that broke, and I almost gave up on it altogether at that point. And secondly, although it worked, I don't think it would have been very reliable. I think over time, because it relied on like a contact, a bit like a Scalextric's brush, where it's just in constant contact with the track. There's like a ring inside here which was metal, which was conductive, and there was like a piece of wire that was brushing against it. And I think over time it would have stopped working anyway, so I didn't bother with that. So I just stayed with the motion and sound. So inside this thing is a motor. It's a Tamiya. I forget what size it is. 500 something, I think. 500 motor. Or was it 512 or something? So there's a motor inside there. It's almost the same as the plasma rifle that I made. Almost the same electrical hardware. You've got an Arduino controlling everything. An Adafruit FX doing the sound. The only difference is there's a motor controller in there. I think it's a Pololu. I can't remember the code. I think it's VHC or D or something, 5019. Motor controller in there to obviously control the spinning of that. So yeah, what I did, because I didn't want to be taking it apart all the time. You'll notice on the side of the toy one there's actually a space for the handle. That's what you turn to fire the gel things out. I actually modified the hole there and made, I don't know if you can see very well, made like a charging point. So basically to charge it you just need to put that in, and then you don't have to take anything out or open anything up to get to it. Now the only thing which is probably not that accurate is that I couldn't find anywhere for the back. I mean, there's some pictures on my Facebook or the Builder Terminator group, but inside there is pretty packed. You've got a motor, all electronic speaker, and there's no room for anything else, let alone a battery. And that motor requires quite a big battery. It's no good putting one of the little lithium ones that like I used in the plasma rifle. There's no way that would provide enough current. So you have to have something fairly beefy, like something you would use on an RC car or something. So in the end, I ended up using this pack here, which I attached to the bottom and tried to make it look as much like the part of the gun as possible. So I mean, the real gun doesn't have that on the bottom, obviously, but I don't think you really notice. It kind of just looks like part of the gun, I think. So that's that. It's fixed on there. As I say, you can charge it with that port. So there's no like messing around having to take it off. Yeah, what else do I need to say about it? Yeah, then I've painted it all up. Added like a dry brush on the edges to try and pick out some like worn bits, give it a bit more of a realistic look. I think it's quite heavy, but I think it'll be okay. In terms of the Terminator actually holding it, because it's actually almost perfectly balanced on the handle that it's going to be carrying it with. So there's no sort of, it's not going to be trying to fall forward or backwards. So as long as the fingers are stiff enough to grip that, then it should be okay. The other hand, it's obviously going to be a two-handed thing, so the other hand will be on the back just to point it in and just whatever tilt you want to give it. So yeah. That's that. I'm going to post some videos now after this of just showing it in action. So yeah, enjoy. And any comments, or if you're thinking of giving this a go, happy to answer any questions. Thanks for watching.